Concert photography is one of my favourite types of photography, and I don't get to do it enough, but I got to this week, and I want to talk about this image specifically that I captured this week and the story behind it. So let's get into it. So, as we all know, the last year and a half has been locked down, is how I'll put it. Obviously with Corona we have not been able to do much, and concerts and gigs have not been happening at all. I absolutely love live music, and I used to go to a lot of concerts before Corona happened, and I'm now so happy that I can book them again. And this week I got to go to the first one since, I think Feb 2020 is the last time I went to a concert. So yeah, I got to go to one this week, and that was to see Sam Tompkins. His music is amazing. I highly recommend you check him out. So this week I was lucky enough to go see him down in Brighton in Concord 2, and it was just amazing. It was so good to be back seeing music live again, and Sam was the perfect start to seeing music live again. The show was insane. It's very, very rare that I think someone sounds better live than they do on Spotify or online. Honestly, his voice is flawless. It's insane. And then everything about the show was just amazing. It's such an intimate little venue, which I absolutely love.
I don't need the love, I just want the best now. This ain't out my neck now. I've been feeling low. Hate the way it's gone. Beautiful. Ooh, I need you around. The pressure's getting way too heavy now, and you should know that I'm not ready, no.
He was telling the stories behind songs and what they mean and everything like that, and it's just incredible. The amount of emotion that goes into his work is incredible, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. So as I just said, the amount of emotion in his songs is absolutely incredible. He literally is pouring his heart out. I mean, one of his previous pieces of work was called From My Sleeve to the World, and that kind of sums up for you the amount of emotion he puts into his songs and his music. It's crazy, and I absolutely love it, and I think a hell of a lot of his fan base resonate with the music he puts out and the amount of emotion that goes into his music. And I was lucky enough to take my camera to this gig. I'm just going to cut straight to that. I was lucky enough to take my camera down. It's a venue I've been to before, and last time I went I saw other people in the crowd with their cameras, so I thought, I'm driving down, if I can take my camera in, I can take it in. If not, I'll put it back in the car, is what it is. And I was able to take my camera in. They knew I had a camera, I didn't have to sneak in or anything. They just let me take my camera in, which was really good, and managed to capture some photos. And I specifically went there with the intention of, I want to capture a handful of images which convey the amount of emotion that he puts into his songs into my photography.
I've been depressed for far too long, and this shit is heavy. I'm no detective, but writing these songs is evidently so reflective of every feeling I've ever had. I'm so receptive to it, maybe I'm more like my dad. Enlightenment, emotions are a myth. This world's a bag of shit, and maybe I should quit, cause I haven't felt nothing.
Now, the reason I wanted to do this is because I think capturing emotions in any art form is beautiful. It's the most pure way of expressing that piece of art, and in photography especially, it's why I love wedding photography as well, and music photography. It's the amount of emotion that goes into the moment you're capturing. If you can capture that in your photography, it's incredible. That's what I strive for. I strive to capture emotion in my work, and the sheer amount of emotion that Sam puts into his music, I really wanted to try and do that justice. So I was capturing photos throughout the set. I wasn't capturing as many as I normally would. Normally I would overshoot, whereas this I really wanted to take in the music itself. So I was really trying to ride that line between shooting and enjoying the music, which I think I rode it quite well, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm battling my patience, but you're man enough to take it on. and we'll just fly the distance to where there is no sin. We'll have no inhibitions, a place where we're the king.
I got some photos I'm really happy with, and I genuinely think I achieved my goal of trying to capture emotion in my images. And there's one image in particular that I want to talk about in this video, which is this one on screen here. I know you can't really see it right now, I'm teasing you.
You naughty, naughty, you teasing me, you naughty, naughty.
Now, basically, this image was taken during his new single, Bloodline, which at the time of recording hasn't been released yet. He's posted teasers about it, and seeing it live was the first time I'd ever seen this or heard the full song. Incredible, by the way. As if it's out by the time you see this, or if it's out whenever, just you need to hear it, because it's an incredible song. But before he started singing it, he told us the story behind the song. I won't go into too much detail. It's his story to tell, so I'm sure he'll post it online at some point or something. But it was basically about the loss of a family member and the impact that had on him, the thoughts it caused in him, and he wrote this song a few days later. And you could see when he was telling the story beforehand how emotional he was getting, and you could see him getting emotional when he was actually singing the song. And I wasn't going to take a photo during that song because it felt like a really intimate moment between him and his music. It seemed almost wrong for me to take an image of it, and I really wasn't going to. The reason I did in the end, though, is because I was stood there thinking about it while listening to the song and taking it in, and I kind of realised that the amount of emotion that goes into his work, and especially into this song, is something that he's actively choosing to share with the world. And as I said earlier, I feel like his fan base resonate with the emotions that go into his song, and I do believe that that's his goal with being so emotionful and so open and raw in his music, is to help people in similar situations, and so that people feel these emotions with him. So the fact that he's releasing this single and he was willing to sing it with everyone here, I didn't feel like it was necessarily a bad thing for me to take this image. And my goal was, I only took a couple of images of this song, but my goal when taking the shot was to capture the raw emotion that he was expressing in the song, and hopefully to share it with him. I'm going to send it, I haven't yet, I'm going to send him the photo, because of more of just a thank you for his artwork and his art that he's putting out to the world, showing my appreciation of that through my art, if that makes sense. So yeah, it makes sense in my head. I don't know if it makes sense out loud, but yeah, it's just, yeah, that's the thing. But that's what I wanted to capture. That's what I wanted to capture in this photo, was I wanted to capture the emotion that was going into that song and in that moment, because it's obviously very raw, it's very special to him. So I was hoping to capture that respectfully. That's the key thing. I really wanted to be respectful, and I was actually really unsure about making this video about it, because I wasn't sure if that would be respectful of the song and the situation. But I want to share the reason why I took the image and the story behind the image. And it's not just, photography isn't just taking a photo. Photography is capturing emotions, it's capturing moments in time, it's capturing art. Photography is art. So I wanted to explain the story behind the image. It's not just a photo, there is this whole background to it. I took a handful of photos during the song, and I literally was looking for the LCD display and saw the image I took as I took it, and was the whole hour-long drive home, I was so excited to get home and edit this photo. And I just sat down, the moment I got home, sat down and edited that one photo before I went to bed, because I was so excited, and I wanted to edit it while I was still mentally there in the show. Even though I'd left, I was still in that mindset. If I'd edited it the next day, I wouldn't have had all the emotions I had from the music. So I wanted to edit it then. So this is the image. This is the photo I took. This is the shot I took, and I do feel like I've captured the emotion behind this song in it. The red lighting was because the song was called Bloodline. The whole stage was lit up red. I didn't do massive amounting of editing to it. I just wanted to sort of focus in on him being the artist and try and capture the emotion in his song. So that's the image, and that's the story behind it. I really just wanted to share that and explain why I took this image and the story behind it. And if Sam, if you ever end up seeing this by some miracle, thank you for your music. Thank you for putting on such an incredible show. That was honestly one of the best shows I've ever been to. Can't wait for the mini album. He has a mini album coming out in February, I believe he said, called Who Do You Pray To, and he did a few songs from that during the night, and they were incredible. I am so excited for that album to come out. Yeah, if you do see this, thank you, genuinely.
Always the same. You're not to blame. Always the same. You're not to blame. I wanna be the one that you've been calling, so it's hurt me to know that you're falling. And you'll wake with me every single morning. If you don't, then I know I'm not important. I love every single thing about you. When you look at me, I start to feel useful.
Little side story. I discovered Sam's music through Facebook like 5 years ago, must have been. It was years ago now, but him and another artist called Ren, who are their really good friends, did a song together, and they were busking in Brighton, and they made a music video out of it called Blind Eyed. And found it years ago and absolutely loved it. It's such a good song, and I've loved it ever since. And since then, I've been following them both, musically and like on social media. I've been following what they're up to and their music projects and everything like that. I've been following them both since then. I stood at the back of the venue, at the back of the crowd, when the support act was on, and this person walked past me with, I just instantly recognised the shaved side of his head, the earrings. I was like, that's Ren. And then he walked into the crowd a little bit, he kind of leaned against the wall and turned around, and someone spoke to him. I was like, that's actually Ren. And I was like, I've got to go say hello. I've got to go. Like, how often does that happen? I've got to go say hello. I've followed his music for years now. Like, come on. So walked into the crowd, and then, you know, it's just really awkward when you do that, isn't it? So you don't really know how to approach someone like that. It's a really weird situation. I just like said hi basically and introduced myself and said how much I loved his music and explained that I'd been following them since Blind Eyed, and just such a surreal moment. Honestly, absolutely shat myself. Was so nervous. I didn't feel nervous going over. The moment I said hello, I felt so nervous. It was really weird. It was like starstruck, I guess, but it's just a really weird situation. But it's just awesome memory. Such a cool memory. And then and at the end of the show, Sam went off stage. He didn't perform Blind Eyed. He went off stage and the whole crowd started singing one more song. And he got back on stage and put Red on the spot. They got up and then they did Blind Eyed. They did the song that is what caused me to find both of them and find their music and fall in love with their music. And that was just a surreal, awesome moment.
That's why I strive to stop my demons gripping, ripping from the inside. This road is dark and I can't find the batteries for my flashlight. I'm blind-eyed and outside. Times I breathe, times I break, times I dream, times I fake, times I the fluid is not winning, it's one of me for goodness sake. When the brakes they break and I'm driving my universe into a lake in the way. Wake in the world, don't wait, we make mistakes when it's all this thing. We cook our cake, we eat our cake, sometimes we double taste. That's just the way life goes sometimes. I don't want to end up in a garbage and I'm double face down with the bottom of the thunder shines on the oh Lord, take this pain away.
I think because of all these little memories from this show is probably why it's one of my most favourite shows I've been to. Was because this is little. It's just awesome. Just such a good show. The whole evening was great. It was just and that's it really. I just wanted to talk about that photo, talk about capturing emotions in photography, and that's all I really have to say. I think there's also kind of a little mini video for like me to remember. this. But yeah, that's all. See you in the next video. Don't forget to take the shots, all the other stuff that YouTubers say to do, and I'll see you in the next video. I said that a bit too early. Peace.
If you've ever lost a close family member or relative and you feel like the memory of them's just slipping away, this song's for you.
Oh, I hope you know it wasn't only a building you lived in and left behind. You left your children, I'm with them, came your bloodline. Even though you've